I have run Facebook ads to a lot of different countries over the past several years, all sending traffic to my Spotify profile or various releases on Spotify to get more streams, more followers, more listeners, stuff like that. And in that time, I have successively narrowed my country targeting down to a list of what I have determined to be the best 13 countries for me to advertise my music in globally. Now, this includes countries like the United States, where I live, Canada, the United Kingdom, Australia, but it also includes countries like Germany and the Netherlands and other countries in Western Europe predominantly. But just because I have narrowed down this list of countries that seem to work very well for me doesn't mean there aren't times for me to test new options again. Now, before we dig into testing these new options and why I would do that and what the results have been because I did that recently, let's take a step back and talk about how I landed on these 13 countries to begin with. Well, I got here by testing a lot of different targeting options over a very long period of time. I would put all the countries in one group together in one ad set on Facebook and see what the results were. And when I noticed that there were a handful of countries that were taking all the traffic, I would pull those and put them into a different ad set and then leave that group as it was without them. And so I ended up with these tiers of countries, all of which sort of play well together. But recently I have revisited adding some countries back in, well, really one country in particular, to this list of 13 countries that play well together. So let's take a look at how I did this and what happened as a result. In the month of February of this year, if I come up to the breakdown tab and I go by country, you can see the list of countries that I have been largely targeting for quite a long time, actually. If we filter it by results, you can see that the most traffic I'm getting is from the United States, where I live, and then Germany, the United Kingdom, and so on down the list. Now, if we jump forward to the month of March, you can see that I added one country to this list, and that is France. Now, if we go back to my list of countries in my 3 tiers and then my do not target list, you can see that I have the 13 countries that I have targeted for a period of time. France is over here. France is not in tier 1. In the past, when I've done this, France has taken up more than its fair share of the budget and leaves the rest of the country sort of lacking in the amount of budget they get for my daily ad spend. So when I dropped France back in here, I sort of thought this would happen again. And I wasn't mistaken. I added France just on March 21st, so it wasn't even active for the whole month. It's only been active for a couple of weeks. And already in the month of March, it almost surpassed the United States of America in terms of website views content or results on my landing pages. And the reason for that is because the cost per impression is so low. So you can see that the CPM for France in the month of March was $2.15. Now that's definitely higher than New Zealand or Norway or even the Netherlands, but France also has a very large population compared to Norway or New Zealand and other countries, which is why the large population coupled with the lower CPM actually drives a lot more results in that country. Because if you look at the CPM compared to Germany, it's fairly lower. And if you look at it compared to the United States, especially, the CPM is significantly lower, which is why, again, France gets more traffic than those countries. Okay, so why do this? Why add France back into my targeting, even though I know that it's going to dominate my ad spend and it's going to drive most of the traffic to that country instead of the other countries I've been using? Well, the answer lies, frankly, in Spotify for Artists and the data there. I've been getting a lot of algorithmic pushes from Discover Weekly and radio on Spotify, and most of that traffic has come from the United States and Germany, where I've been getting most of my traffic on Facebook. But I've also been getting a lot of traffic from France, despite the fact that I haven't been targeting that country at all. So I thought if I add it back into the mix, maybe I can bring France up to the level of the US and Germany and have a third country where I've got a pretty good fan base of people who are really enjoying what I do. It seems like I'm already getting traffic there on Spotify as a result of the algorithmic pushes that I'm getting. So let's try to double down on that. I put France into rotation a couple weeks ago. At the time, I had about 2,000 streams per month in France. If we fast forward to today, you can see that I've got about 3,200 streams per month in France. And you can see the bump in my data from exactly when I started running ads to that country. So I had 36 streams on Tuesday, March 21st. And then yesterday I had 259 streams in France. Ads in France have worked great for me to bring this country and its listener base up sort of on par, or getting closer to on par with the United States and with Germany. But there's also another reason that I chose France. Why didn't I choose a country like Brazil, where I've got a lot of listeners, or a country like Turkey, where I've got a lot of listeners, or Mexico? I've advertised in all 3 of these countries in the past, and all of the listeners listeners that I've gotten there are pretty sticky. They have stuck around for quite some time and they continue to listen to my music. Well, I chose France because the payout per stream in France is also very close to being on par with Germany and with the United States. The payout per stream in Brazil and Turkey and Mexico is much lower, which means I'm getting a much lower return on my ad spend in countries like Brazil, Mexico, and Turkey. France had just sort of barely missed the cutoff for me before, and now it's back in a rotation and the results are good. But this doesn't mean I'm going to keep it in rotation forever. If anything, I will probably run this for some time, and then I'll have to figure out a way to pull France back out so that all of my traffic doesn't go to France. And that sort of brings me back around to the beginning of this video, which is the fact that I have tested this sort of targeting over and over and over again and have landed on this list of countries, these 3 tiers that I have created on purpose and as a result of a lot of trial and error. But it doesn't mean I can't sort of bend the rules from time to time and put one back in when I feel like it. So if you're like me and you are testing all kinds of different targeting, including countries with your ads to send traffic to Spotify, I will leave a link to the spreadsheet that I've mentioned in this video in the description so that you can access these tiers as well if you don't have access to them already through either other videos where I've posted this link or even our Discord server if you want to join that and connect with other people in this community. Now, before I let you go, if you don't subscribe to this channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And at the end here, if you want to see some more examples of my targeting and how Facebook ads have worked for me in the past, then check out this video right here. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.